This video follows on from the video which gave an overview of how to set up a total station using the Setup app. That is, how to position and orientate the total station. This video will describe how to set up a total station using the Orientate to Line method. The Orientate to Line method allows the total station to be located anywhere, and also the backsite points are not known. But how can this be possible, and why would anyone want to use this method? Well, imagine if you need to measure a road traffic accident. In this case, it is simply needed to measure the cars and street furniture relative to each other. It could be really useful to orientate everything relative to the edge of the road, for example. So in this method, the total station can be located anywhere which is suitable. It is then simply needed to measure to 2 points. These 2 points define the northing or easting axis, with the first measured point being given the coordinates 0, 0. All subsequent measured points are then related to this axis. That is, in our example, related to the edge of the road. This method is normally used with a new and empty job. The reason is that the first point which is measured during the setup routine is given the coordinates of 0, 0. After making the new job, tap on the Setup app and choose the Orientate to Line method. Press OK and access the Setup Details panel. Here we need to enter the point ID for the setup. Once we have completed the setup, a point will be stored with this ID and the computed coordinates of the setup. We need to enter the instrument height and, if we wish, a point code. We press OK and access the Setup Height and Axis panel. Firstly, we need to define how the height of the setup should be defined. The options are to manually enter a value and then we need to type in the height, or compute the height on the measurement to the first backsite point, and then we need to enter the height of the first backsite point. We will choose to manually enter the height. We then need to choose if the 2 points we measure define the east or the north axis. We choose the easting axis and can press OK. We enter the panel where we can measure the first target point. Remember, this point will be given the coordinates 0, 0. Enter the target height and measure the point, and then we enter the panel where we can measure the second target point. Since we have chosen to define the east axis, this point will be given coordinates along the easting axis. The easting value will be the distance between the 2 points and the northing will be 0. In the setup results, we can see the coordinates and orientation of the setup. On the Setup page tab, the instrument height can be seen and re-entered if it had been forgotten or a mistake made earlier. The setup point can be given a point code if needed. The current ppm is shown as a reminder as to what ppm or scale factor is being used. If you are using or connected to an imaging total station, then the Camera page tab allows you to capture an image and link it to the station. In the Plot page tab, it is possible to see a 3D view of the setup. This can be useful to visually check the setup and the location of the target points is correct. Once you are happy that all information is entered, then press Set. This will store all setup information to the job. If you're using an imaging total station, you will be asked if you want to capture a panoramic image, and then you will return to the home screen. The instrument is set up and you can get to work. So in summary, the Orientate to Line method is a simple method to use, which may be particularly useful when measuring points relative to each other and the defined line. Please do watch the other videos to learn more about the individual methods, and thanks for watching.